Ronaldo is holding Manchester United back. Most of you didn't want to hear that. With 9 goals in just 11 matches, Cristiano Ronaldo continues to prove that he was born to score regardless of which team he plays for. Right now, the Portugal international isn't playing for the most cohesive unit in Europe, but that hasn't really stopped him from finding the back of the net on a regular basis. Unfortunately, that's not enough, and perhaps there are elements in Ronaldo's game that are holding the club back. Meanwhile, Barcelona have performed quite the U-turn by snapping up former fullback Dani Alves, who brings in some much-needed experience and winning mentality into Xavi's side. We touched upon this subject in our previous video, but it does feel like Sergio Aguero is getting closer to hanging up his boots. Mauro Icardi is finally done with Paris Saint Germain and envisions himself at a club where he's the main man. Hakim Ziyech isn't having a great time at Chelsea these days, and the Moroccan international might soon move to a new club that orders him ample game time. So, as you can see, we've got tons of stuff to talk about today, and you know the drill. Once again, get ready for your daily dose of all things football. At the top of the Premier League after 11 match days and on course to qualifying for the knockout phase of the Champions League, Chelsea have had a terrific start to the new campaign. It must be said that Thomas Tuchel has made this team a tough opponent for best sides on the planet. Pretty much every player is doing well, but there are a few who are struggling, and some are just unlucky that they haven't been given enough chances to showcase their worth. One of those players is Hakim Ziyech. The Moroccan signed for the Blues in the summer of 2020 for about €40 million and was initially hampered by knee and hip related injuries. Last season, the 28-year-old scored 6 goals and provided 4 assists in 39 games. However, he was never an indisputable starter during the campaign, and the case remains the same to this very day. According to German media, the former Ajax winger is eager to switch clubs as soon as the January transfer window kicks off. Even though he's got a contract at Stamford Bridge until June 2025, Ziyech is likely to leave London. Reports claim that Borussia Dortmund might look to take advantage of the player's situation and would look to bring him to the Signal Iduna Park on loan. Ziyech might also be eager to prove a point in Germany after seeing his once promising career come to a standstill in recent months. Guess where Mauro Icardi is spending his few days off during the international break? Not selected for Argentina as usual, who did not really need him either in their 1-0 win over Uruguay. The experienced striker left to recharge his batteries and first went to Milan before going to Dubai. The city of Milan represents Icardi's best years as a player when he was Inter Milan's star player. In search of lost happiness and redemption from his wife and agent, Wanda Nara, Icardi is looking for something that has so far eluded him ever since he arrived in Paris. The striker wants to leave Parc des Princes, where he's become a luxury signing, a player who is well behind the likes of Lionel Messi, Neymar and Kylian Mbappe. And in order for him to start a game, Icardi needs either one of these men and even Angel Di Maria to be absent. Between his personal struggles and declining playing time, Icardi has a feeling that nothing has worked in his favour since he joined PSG. His desire is now clear. He wants to find a club where he's the main man and where he could take care of his family. If an opportunity presents itself in January, the striker is likely to investigate it. Of course, he would prefer a move to Italy, but he has to find a club that's willing to pay a substantial sum to PSG, even though his transfer value has declined considerably. Last summer, Icardi was close to signing for Juventus, but the move didn't happen. This time around though, things might be different, since Newcastle United are in dire need of a quick fix, and Icardi is definitely that, and more. Veteran France shot-stopper Hugo Lloris knows that at some point in time he'll be hanging up his boots, at least when it comes to representing France. And after serving his country with great distinction, the Tottenham #1 knows that he will leave Les Bleus with his head held high. And once he does leave the national team, he knows that he'll leave his position in safe hands. Ahead of the World Cup qualifier with Kazakhstan, the veteran goalkeeper lavished praise on the country's great options and referred to the likes of Mike Maignan, Alphonse Areola and young Ilham Meslier. You are referring to Mike Maignan, but there is also Alphonse Areola. Even if his club situation doesn't allow him to fully show his potential, he always plays well. He has international experience and has played for France. And then there is Meslier, who's doing so well in the Premier League. Given his age, he has shown that he can hold his own in an intense and physical league. There are others as well. With so many options, the French national team will be in good hands when the time comes for Lloris to bid his adieu. After leaving Barcelona in 2016, following some great memories, Dani Alves is making his comeback at a club that is now managed by his former teammate Xavi. A club statement on Friday confirmed the Brazilian's arrival. However, it has to be mentioned that while Alves is not going to be playing for the Catalans until January, he can still train with the rest of the squad. At his age, he isn't expected to be playing week in, week out, but his very presence in the training sessions is going to bring a value that Xavi realizes. At 38, Dani Alves is here to help out the club. "I'm coming back to the home that I've never left, and like I said before I left, I'm one of you. I don't know how long this dream will last." Well, as long as Alves is able to motivate the younger players at the club and let them know how winning is done, Xavi will be happy to allow his former teammate to do things his way. Will we see Sergio Aguero again on a football field? In early November, Barcelona announced that their striker would miss at least the next 3 months of competition due to a heart problem. Aguero complained of chest pains in the middle of the La Liga meeting against Alaves on October 30th. Eventual tests confirmed that the striker had cardiac arrhythmia, and it now appears that the condition might force the player into retiring from the game. After playing only 5 times for Barcelona, Aguero must have been hoping for something positive and says that he's very much motivated to get back on the field. "I am well and very motivated to face this recovery process. I want to thank you all for the messages of support and affection that make me better," wrote the player on his Twitter account. Hopefully the issue is sorted as early as possible, because we really don't want to see such a legendary striker stop playing the game so soon. When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer first became the manager of Manchester United, he said that he wants his team to be the hardest working team in the league. Indeed, if we look past our annoyance with Solskjaer's methods, the Norwegian tactician did try to help the club move towards a more high-pressing game. The fact of the matter is that it worked, and United started pressing their opponents. The strategy was perfect, since it helped United to close down crucial games, but all that changed once United signed Cristiano Ronaldo. The Portuguese arrived as a veteran player who was never supposed to be the fleet-footed winger that he used to be during his first stint at Old Trafford. This meant that United's insistence of defending from the front was no longer applicable. While he has scored crucial goals, the problem with having Ronaldo lead the attack is that he's never going to consistently press his opponents, and in the last few years, he's come to rely on his movement and ability to be at the right place at the right time to score goals. For United, working off the ball was crucial, and during Solskjaer's tenure, that's what they've tried to do a lot. Now that Ronaldo is there, the entire strategy has seemingly collapsed. Whenever the Portugal legend starts a game, United don't put pressure on their opponents from the top. And this is where things become difficult for them, since not putting pressure from the top means that the opponents have a lot of time and space to work the ball from their half towards United's half. Last season, United averaged 132.7 pressures per 90 minutes, and this season, the number has reduced to 117.3. Ronaldo's pressing stats from his last season in Italy suggest that he isn't a perfect fit for teams that want to play a high-pressing game. He averaged 6.75 pressures per 90 minutes for Juventus. In contrast, Edinson Cavani averaged 13.7 per 90 last season. The Uruguayan might also be a veteran, but has been more productive in this regard. He's playing the role of an impact substitute at the club this season, but still averages 8.18 pressures as compared to Ronaldo's 2.65. In modern football, off-the-ball work is just as important as on-the-ball work. You need your players to be working hard and to be eager to win the ball back. Unfortunately, with Ronaldo in the squad, United can't do that. So you end up being put in a corner where every decision you make will backfire in some way. Drop Ronaldo and you get abused, start Ronaldo and expect a great scorer but an immobile presence, not pulling for the collective cause.